Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 342. My name is Adam Patterson. With me today we got Kevin Rakestraw. Hey, Kevin.
Hey.
This week we're going to be talking about two movies, including Paradise Hills and Dolemite Is My Name. Those are the main reviews. We'll also be talking about someone watching on the watch list and going over this week's new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to consider reviewing us on iTunes if you get a chance. That would be incredible. Couple housekeeping bits to go over. We got 4 podcasts dropping this week. 4. So the first part of the Halloween episode came out on Monday, so that's already out. It's on this feed, so you can give that a listen if you haven't yet. We talk about 90s Japanese horror movies. Very fun. And then this episode will be dropping on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we have the second part of the Halloween episode, which will be on Say by the 90s feed. So if you're not subscribed to Say by the 90s, maybe give it a consideration. And we also have a brand new Brian Watches a Movie for Halloween that's coming out on Thursday as well. We have him watch a horror movie. A modern horror movie, like a brand new horror movie almost.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he likes that. And that's
We learned something.
Yeah.
We learned something about our friend Ryan.
Yeah, we did. We're always learning about Ryan, but this week we definitely learned something interesting. I also have a new video review up on our YouTube channel, which you can access from the website, or Film Pulse Vids is the name. So I took a look at Phantasmagoria 2, A Puzzle of Flesh, which was a sequel to a game, Phantasmagoria, which was a game that I really loved when I was younger. It's a point-and-click adventure game. Came out in 1995. And I never played the sequel. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I picked it up on Steam that was on sale for like just a couple dollars, like several years ago. So I bought it then, but I just never played it until now. And I decided to make a video about it. That was fun. That game is pretty ridiculous. So you should definitely consider giving that a look on our YouTube channel. With that, I think we can jump into our first review. Maybe we should do Paradise Hills first, and then end it on Dolemite. Paradise Hills is directed by Alice Waddington. I have a synopsis here. Uma is a teen girl who wakes up in an apparently idyllic school for young ladies to reform rebel girls. Great cast in this. It's got Emma Roberts, Danielle McDonald, Awkwafina, Mila Jovovich.
And it was Isa Gonzalez.
Yes, that's the other one. That's who I was forgetting. Apologies. So Kevin, you have a review for this up on the site right now, so I'll start this off. The first thing I'll say about Paradise Hills is the first thing that grabs you with this movie right off the bat is the visuals. Now, Alice Waddington directed the short film. She directed a short film a couple of years ago called Disco Inferno. It was this really great black and white short but I think it's safe to say that both of us really loved the visual style of that short.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie, it's very different. I mean, Disco Inferno was this kind of black and white, very old school looking picture, and this is sort of the polar opposite in a lot of ways. It's super bright, colorful, these really intricate sets and costumes, and the way that the hair and makeup is done in this, it's all very ornate and just sort of dripping with color. There's lots of flowers everywhere. I'm sure that you were really pleased to see the intricate gardens on display here.
Oh man, great gardens. I mean, great flower movie, no doubt.
So it takes place in this kind of dystopian future, and Emma Roberts is the lead. She wakes up in this sort of weird home for girls that they're trying to deprogram them, and it all seems fine at first, but as these things usually go, there's some darkness. There's some darkness lying under the surface. And
Mm-hmm.
although I really loved the visuals and I really loved the cast in this, I was left a little bit disappointed overall, just because I don't think there was much here as far as the narrative. I just didn't feel like there was anything new or unique going on. It felt like a young adult novel adaptation to me. Like, it just felt like a
Mm-hmm.
very cookie cutter YA movie. And at the end of the day, I just was not really invested in this story. And I had some other problems with it, but let's get your initial thoughts, Kevin. What did you think of Paradise Hills?
I'm pretty much, step in step with you. I mean, you're right. The first thing that grabs you is it looks fantastic. I mean, I was completely struck by just the world building here. The location, the way that it's, the set decorations, the sets themselves, the costuming, everything. It's phenomenal, right? And it's unfortunate because, like you, the narrative for me and the script is kind of rudimentary, where it's just kind of surface level, right? And it feels like there's this huge disconnect in the amount of like attention to detail that went into creating this world, and just everything about it, the decorating of it, the gardens, it's like every little thing, right, seems perfectly placed and thought out. And then the narrative is just kind of like, it's kind of this basic thing, and we just kind of go through it. And then there does seem to be like they try this twist at the end, right? Which seems like there's this long build up to this, inevitable twist. But then the twist comes, and it feels like they just like rush through it, just to be like, okay, let's just get this over with. It's just, I felt like we could have had more development in that narrative, and I think this would have worked out a lot better. Because the way it stands now for me is that you have these two, it's at odds with itself. Is like a lot of the filmmaking aspects of it, I think, are phenomenal, and then like the narrative part of it, I'm just like,
Yeah,
it's
I thought that everything felt rushed to me. The character development, the just how she wakes up on this island, and then you're just sort of thrown in, and they very quickly introduce these characters, and all of a sudden it seems like they're all like sisters, and everything just seems to happen so fast in this movie that I felt like they didn't devote enough time to letting us get to know these characters and see their friendship develop over time, and maybe even show more of the day-to-day inner workings of how this facility functions. And yeah, I also found the editing to be a little bit sporadic as well. There were certain cuts that were made that felt off to me, like characters in different positions, and just it didn't seem very consistent. And overall, I was just left feeling like we needed a little bit more detail in regards to the characters and this very specific time and place, which, like you said, is there's a great amount of world building happening here, but I just felt like everything was so kinetic. It was just like I needed some time to uh, unpack the characters and the place.
Yeah, I think it definitely could have used some more development. And definitely like a little bit more complexity in the script, because the script is really like, even a lot of the dialogue
Yeah, it's
is
just really
it's
basics.
pretty, yeah. And then you have this twist that comes out which, it's a twist. It gets you. But there's even less development there. Like, I mean, it's pretty much, it's gone as fast as it's introduced. And then there's just alliances made that make no sense. And I don't understand what's motivating these people that I've just introduced to. And then the next thing you know, it's over.
You're probably not going to believe me, but I called the twist like at the very, very beginning. I was like, "Oh, this is going to be."
Did you?
I was a little bit off. I thought it was going to be one thing, and it was sort of that, but not quite.
Yeah, because I mean, the twist that you have introduces this whole new element to it, right? Which it's kind of difficult because I don't want to spoil it. But it introduces a whole new element that wasn't really there in the beginning, right? Which makes it more complicated, and it makes it far more interesting. But again, there's really no exploration of that at all. It seems like it's just kind of added because why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, when the twist occurs, it's so close to the end of the movie that there's nothing much more to work with there in regards to the runtime. So by the time the twist occurs, there's really no time for you to ruminate on it before the movie's over. And then there's like another thing that happens after that that's even more kind of out there. And I thought that was kind of interesting too, where they went after the initial twist. But again, that wasn't something that they really spent a lot of time on either.
No, because essentially you have this movie broken into, let's say, like, these numbers aren't scientific or anything, but let's say it's like a 80-20 split. There's the 80% of this movie is what it is them, these women in this school, whatever. And then there's it's like 10% of the first twist, and then another 10% of the thing that happens after that, which you said it's kind of interesting, but it's just like the balancing of this is just really off, because that 80% that you spend is just, what's happening. They pretty much set it out that, these young women are being molded into, someone else's image, what they would like them to be. And we do that for 80% of the movie. And then you have these two other things that are interesting, where it's just kind of introduced and then left behind, and we're done.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
I think it would have been more effective, and I hate doing this, giving recommendations about what a movie should have been, but I'm going to do it anyway. I think it would have been better if they would like drip feed us more hints about what's happening, what's really going on this island, and give us just a little bit, like just small breadcrumbs sprinkled in throughout, that initial 80% that you mentioned.
Yeah.
That way, by the time the twist did occur, we would already be prepared for it. We would already know some of the backstory, and it wouldn't feel as rushed.
Might work, might not work. Who knows? We'll never know. But again, for me, the filmmaking aspects of this, coupled with what I saw in Disco Inferno, I'm still very excited to see what she does in the future. It's just the script for this movie is, it was okay.
I'm 100% on board with you there. I'm still gonna seek out her next project, and I think there certainly is enough here for me to maybe even I would even say I give it a light recommend just for
That's where I'm at.
Just for the visuals alone, because it's
and I mean, just in the sense that, I mean, how many movies have we seen that are this dystopian future where they're all kind of, the production design is all kind of the same. It's all sterile. It's all clinical. It's just clean white rooms, or it's just like an absolute hellscape. You know, like this is something bigger. It's something more grandiose. It actually has color. Thank God. Just some fucking color. It's
Yeah.
nice to see.
And I just wanted a little bit more with these characters too, because I liked all the characters and I just wanted to spend some more time getting to know them. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely love like we've already said, the world building. I enjoy spending my time here, so let's develop it a little bit more.
Should be noted that there are 3 writing credits on this. Brian Deliu, Nacho Vigalondo, and Alice Waddington is credited with the screen story. I'm not sure what that means.
Well, from what I gathered from the credits, is like her and I can't remember the other woman's name. For some reason, she's not on the IMDb credits, but she's in the credits of the movie. They came up with the original story, and then Brian and Nacho wrote the screenplay.
Got it.
Which seems odd. It just seems kind of odd. It's a very woman-centered film to have 2 guys be the ones that write the screenplay. I don't know if that's a funding thing, but it just seems a bit off.
I'm not sure if that plays
I don't know if it does
a role in it.
Just on paper, on paper, it seems odd. You know what I mean? It just seems weird.
All right, so you gave this a 6.5 in your review, which again is up on the site right now. You can give that a read. I'm gonna sit around a 6 on this one.
All right, there you go.
That's Paradise Hills. That's in limited release right now, and that will be on VOD this week on Friday. All right, let's move on and talk about Dolemite Is My Name. This is directed by Craig Brewer. I have a synopsis here. Eddie Murphy portrays real-life legend Rudy Ray Moore, a comedy and rap pioneer who proved naysayers wrong when his hilarious, obscene kung fu fighting alter ego Dolemite became a 1970s blaxploitation phenomenon. Kevin, we'll start with you. What did you think of Dolemite Is My Name?
I loved it. It's a lot of fucking fun. So much fun. Fucking loved it.
Me?
It's kind of surprised.
I loved it too. This is on Netflix, by the way. This is a Netflix film. I gotta say, so Dolemite is maybe my favorite blaxploitation film of all time. I'm a pretty big fan of blaxploitation film, and when I first saw Dolemite, which was not too long ago, I actually wrote an article back when I was doing Grindhouse Weekly. I wrote about Dolemite. This was ages ago, but I loved it back then. Watching this movie sort of reinvigorated my love for Dolemite. And I think that this movie is the right way to do a biopic because it doesn't feel like it's your... I mean, it is a biopic, but it doesn't feel like your kind of standard, boring, paint by numbers biopic.
And it's pretty great how they do this because it's at once a biopic of Rudy Ray Moore, because you have him before he even has, created the Dolemite character, right? So you have a little bit of it being just his life. Then you have the creation of the Dolemite character. And then you have them making the movie Dolemite, which actually doesn't happen until, almost halfway through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit of a biopic of kind of all of this, Rudy Ray Moore and Dolemite, the character, kind of like half and half of that. And it's pretty fantastic the way they do it because it doesn't feel like a standard biopic where it's, this kind of like bullet point, like, oh, we got to get all the major, timeline events happening, line them up. It just, it feels very organic in the way that it, kind of progresses through him struggling, him creating a new character, him finding success with that character, and then him deciding to, turn it into a movie.
Mm-hmm. And it also doesn't have that kind of artificial, like forced melodrama that a lot of biopics tend to have. There's certainly conflict in this, but it's all kept very tongue in cheek. It's kept very light, and it's a very funny movie. Like really
Yeah.
funny, surprisingly funny. And I think that that's largely due to the cast, which holy crap, what a cast in this. Let me just give you the rundown here. Obviously, we have Eddie Murphy, we have Keegan Michael Key, Mike Epps, Craig Robinson, Titus Burgess, Devine Joy, Randolph, Cody Smith McPhee, Snoop Dogg, T.I. is in there, which
Which I
was
I I
hilarious.
didn't know that. I didn't know that until just now. Who did he play? How did I miss Ti completely?
He
Like, I don't know
was
who Ti was.
he was like he was the one. Was it a record producer? No, I can't remember if he was one of the film producers or one of the record. He was. I'm pretty sure one of the record producers. He had like a beard. It didn't. It barely looked like him at all. I was like, oh my god, that's
Okay,
Ti.
good, good. Because I was hoping, I was like, how do I not know that Ti was in this movie?
Yeah, and then you have Wesley
Okay.
Snipes in there as D'Urville, who was
Yeah, he's so great.
he was the director of the film Dolemite, and oh my god, Wesley Snipes, he brought it in this. He was so good. Oh
Love him.
man, just great performances across the board. I like what Mike Epps is doing right now. Like Mike Epps, I feel like he's having a little bit of a renaissance with the movies that he's working on. Like he was in The Last Black Man in San Francisco, and he was great in that. He was in Uncle Drew, and he was great in that. He's just been really killing it with his roles that he's choosing lately. And of course, I feel like this is a big comeback for Eddie Murphy, who's been out of the game a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's the perfect role for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Eddie. I don't know all about Eddie Murphy's inspirations, but you can kind of see like there's certain parallels between Rudy Ray Moore, his career, and Eddie Murphy's career. Certainly.
I'm sure he did. It's just, and like you said, there's not a forced melodrama in there, but I will say that it effortlessly has like a great amount of heart in this, where it doesn't come off as like forced or inauthentic, or where it's just kind of, I don't know what the word I'm trying to think of for it, but it feels like it's there, and Jesus Christ, I can't think of words.
Well, it's
Lost it.
also not mean spirited either. It's done in such a way that I think honors the work of Rudy Ray Moore without necessarily making fun of him. I feel like it would be easy to sort of make fun of Dolomite, the movie, because it's not a very good movie, but I feel like it almost feels similar to Ed Wood in some respect. This is like the black exploitation version of Ed Wood,
Mm-hmm.
where it was like truly a biopic that was made with love, and I think that comes through on the screen, and I think because of that there was this care given to the story, and I think that's sort of what another thing that sets it apart from a lot of these kind of standard cookie cutter biopics.
And I mean, just the whole attitude of Rudy Ray Moore, of him wanting to do this, to make this movie. There's a lot of great scenes. I think one of my favorites is when D'Urville shows up on their studios, and he's kind of surveying everything. He's just like, Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous. And Rudy Ray Moore, Eddie Murphy just goes off on him about ego and everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Just the
it's an
idea
underdog
of just
story
getting
too.
together. Yeah, just a group of misfits just deciding, like, you know what, fuck it, let's make our own movie. No one's going to hire us to be in movies. Even if you do have, an immense amount of talent, being African American, your options are limited.
Right. I do love that they put in the clips from the actual movie at the end too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think a lot of people probably haven't seen Dolemite, so including those things, I think, will make people seek out that movie, and maybe it will make them seek out some of these other 70s blaxploitation movies.
Well, and I also hope that it's, to look at more Rudy Ray Moore stuff, because even as great as Dolemite is, his what he plays Goldie in The Monkey Hustle, oh my goodness, it's just so outlandish. I mean, you should see his outfits in that movie. It's insane. It's so ridiculous, and it's him and Yaphet Kotto. Are you kidding me? Like,
that's a duo.
Oh man, is it ever?
It's funny because this movie's coming out and it's kind of putting blaxploitation in the spotlight a little bit, and there's been these listicles popping up of like top 10 blaxploitation movies, and the one that I saw somebody tweet, I can't even remember what site it was on, but it was like listing all the movies that were listed were from like the 2000s, and it was like Soul Plane and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, one of them was Pootie Tang. And I'm just like, no, that does not. Are you kidding me? Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many titles from back in that time. It's just so many. And I hope that, because I think we have seen that like in the last couple of years. I think you've seen a number of these getting re-released.
Oh yeah,
like Petey Wheatstraw,
mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, Arrow put out,
and who knows how many the hell that came out back then that we don't even know about.
Right?
They just they never made it this far.
Yeah, I mean, some of them could even be lost. Lost in time, unfortunately. But there's a lot of companies like Arrow that's putting out Arrow, Vinegar Syndrome. They're re-releasing a lot of these. Like Willie Dynamite just came out on Arrow a few months ago, and there's definitely still plenty of places that you can see a lot of these blaxploitation films. And I'm hoping that we'll start to see more of these get restored and released, because I think that it is an important era of cinema. So yeah, definitely check out Dolemite Is My Name. Let's go ahead and give it a score. I didn't really think about this. I don't know. I'm at like an 8 on this.
I'm right there with you. And I did learn something from this movie, which I didn't realize that the director of photography for Dolemite is the son of Joseph von Sternberg.
Oh, really?
It's just insane to me.
Huh.
Just insane.
I didn't know that either. How about that?
I love it.
Oh, so Craig Brewer, who directed Dolemite Is My Name, he's doing Coming to America, the new Coming to America.
Okay.
That could be interesting, because that has Eddie Murphy, James Earl Jones, and Wesley Snipes, Leslie Jones, Arsenio Hall.
I'm worried.
Tracy Morgan.
I'm excited, but I'm also worried.
Yeah, I mean,
I love that movie.
So do I.
And I don't think we need another one.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't know if we need another one either. So,
but I'll gladly watch it.
Yeah, he also did Black Snake Moan and Hustle and Flow. Black Snake Moan, man, I forgot about that movie. That was
a movie at one point in time.
That was an interesting movie. All right, that is Dolemite is my name. Check it out on Netflix. It's well worth your time.
So I just I didn't realize the movie he did after that is the Footloose remake,
Yeah,
2011.
I
What?
purposely didn't
All right,
mention that.
all right there. That's interesting.
All right, let's talk about some of what we're watching on the watch list. I have a ton of stuff, so maybe I should kick it off.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
do it.
I saw
Get it going.
Greener Grass. This is directed by Jocelyn DeBoer and Dawn Louibi. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing those names. I probably am. This is a very strange comedy that takes place in this kind of modern suburbia. It's like a suburban nightmare scenario where all of the adult characters have braces and they don't drive cars. They drive around in golf carts, and it focuses on these two friends played by the directors, and their seemingly perfect lives are sort of crumbling around them. And it is so absurd and bizarre and incredible. I think a lot of people won't like it just because of how strange it is, but it was right up my alley. I really, really, really enjoyed this movie. You should probably give it a look.
Yes, I want to see this very badly.
It is on VOD right now, so you can.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you can see it on VOD. It has like Beck Bennett is in it. He plays one of the husbands, and he gets this new pool cleaner for their pool that uses like oxygenized water or something, and instead of chlorine, so the water's so clean you can drink it. And so like through the whole movie, he's just drinking pool water, and he's making ice pops out of the pool water. He becomes just obsessed with pool water, and one scene they get into an argument, and she tells him to just go drink some pool water, and then the next scene they just show him in the pool, like with his mouth open, just drinking the water. And then
God.
and then their son turns into a dog.
Oh, hold up. What?
Yeah. At one point, their son has been peeing everywhere, like he's been peeing all over the place, and they don't know what's wrong with him. And then all of a sudden, he turns into a dog. He turns into a golden retriever.
Interesting.
And they still take him to school. He's still on the soccer team, and they dress him in human clothes, but he's a dog.
So it kind of becomes Air Bud.
They recognize him as a dog, but actually, yeah, they take him to soccer practice, but they have to kick him off the team because he's a dog. So he does unfortunately get booted from the soccer team. Just there's a lot of other things like that happen in the movie, but the thing that I liked about it was that there was all a reason behind it. It wasn't weird just for the sake of being weird. There was everything represented something, and I really appreciated that about it. A lot of times when you see some of these absurdist comedies, you're just like, it doesn't mean anything. It was just in there because it was weird. And I think sometimes that's okay too. But I think anytime you show something just really out there but it clearly has a distinct meaning behind it, I think that makes it more effective. So Greener Grass, highly recommend. Especially if you're into like these really weird, like late night Adult Swim things, sort of like, it's almost like an anti-comedy style of film.
Well, I'm in it. Want it. I'm going to check it out. I watched, this is interesting. All right, so I watched this movie called The Open House on Netflix. It's a horror movie. I don't know if you remember this, Adam.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. Oh, yeah.
Well,
I hated it.
it's just, the interesting thing is, we just picked one at random, right? Threw it on. And then within, like the opening credits or whatever, wife looks up and she's like, oh wow, the reviews for this are absolutely terrible. So of course I got to check out. Every single one is like 1 star, half star, 1.5 star, pretty much across the board, right? So I'm going through reviews from friends, just seeing everyone give it a 1 star, 1.5 star. I get to the very, very last one. That's Adam Patterson. And it's a half star, and it just says what. That's it. That's all your review says. It just says what. So I'm seriously like 3 minutes into this movie, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fucking great. I can't wait to see what the fuck is going on in this movie. So this is kind of bizarre in that there's not a really interesting thing. The way the kid's father dies at the beginning, and then like they can't handle it, so they go to live in this like her sister's cabin in the woods or something that they're trying to sell. They have to leave, every Sunday or whatever for the open house. That's it. That's the only thing they have to do. And I love that the kid, like after the first open house, points out that open houses are kind of weird. You just let a bunch of people in here, no one checks anything, and you just leave. It's kind of weird. You're like, oh shit, yeah, stuff is gonna happen, right? But it's all kind of, small scale, spooky stuff. Creaking doors, hot water heater going off, that kind of stuff where you're like, okay, what's happening here? Is someone in the house, or is it just an old house? Like, what's going on? Well, the interesting thing is that pretty much everything that you see is a red herring. It doesn't really mean anything, except for a couple of small bits here and there. And this has a very odd ending to it, but I also found the ending to be extremely fucking bleak. It's just a very, very bleak horror film.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just done. It's just, but there is a funny thing that one of the characters does have their contacts forcibly removed.
Yeah.
Which just seems very, strange.
I remember that too.
And it seems like they were really excited about having this, because up until that point, there's numerous times throughout the movie where they make it a point of him being like, oh, he's wearing his glasses. Oh, now he's got his contacts back in. Oh, he's got the glasses on. Oh, he's putting his contacts in. So I don't know. It just seems very odd. It kind of felt like for them that was like a centerpiece of the movie. It's just a really odd thing to have to kind of be like a highlight of your movie, because they have camera straight on his face while the person's just like, you know what? Before I do the thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take your contacts out. And then he goes ahead, and they show the whole thing, and just taking those contacts out. It's just so strange to me. Oh God!
And that's the open house on Netflix. That's a Netflix original, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right. It shows. It's not a good movie, but at the same time, I'm not understanding all you guys giving it 1 star and 1.5 star. Like, it's not that bad. It's a 2 star.
I gave it a half. I really
and I don't understand what.
I think
I don't understand what you are with this. What? Like, it's pretty straightforward. Like, why are you confused?
I think I don't think I was confused. I think I was
the contact thing.
No, I think I was angered by the ending. I don't even remember what happens at the end, but I remember.
Can I say, if anyone's gonna watch the open house, just stop listening for like a couple minutes, right? Because I'm gonna spoil it. And this is why I actually kind of like this movie, because it kind of surprised me, and it's really fucking bleak in that there actually is a guy in the house, and he kills fucking everyone, and that's it. Which I just like, there's no happy ending. Everyone fucking dies, and then he goes to another open house, and that's the end of the movie. He fucking killed everyone for no reason. You have no idea why. He just killed them.
Yeah, I think maybe that was the problem that I had with it. It was that I just didn't see the point of any of it. I didn't understand why it existed.
Sometimes a random guy just fucking kills you and your life's over. That's it.
Yeah, that's true, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's fucking bleak.
I saw Zombieland Double Tap.
Uh,
It's pretty good.
was it? I
Yeah,
was not hearing good things. It
it's.
also feels like a movie that we don't need.
I don't know if we necessarily need it. I'd say if you liked the first Zombieland, this is more of the same. Like it's just
Okay.
these four characters who are inherently likable characters. These are good characters. I like spending time with these characters, and you just get to spend more time with them. There were a couple really funny moments. Like there's a sequence when they meet their doppelgangers, basically, and
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Middleditch plays the Jesse Eisenberg doppelganger, and it's just such a perfect match. And I really enjoyed that scene. Luke Wilson plays the Woody Harrelson doppelganger, and so that I really enjoyed. There's a really great like post credits sequence with Bill Murray, and the rest of it is it's fine. Like there's really nothing for me to say about it one way or the other. It's just another Zombieland movie that came too late. I think if this sequel happened a year, like 3 years after the original instead of maybe 8, would have been more successful.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that awful TV show that Amazon tried to make out of this sort of
Oh,
hurt.
what?
Yeah, they tried to make a Zombieland
Yeah.
TV show. They made a pilot.
Huh.
Yeah, like years ago, Amazon did this thing where they produced like 5 or 6 pilots, and then they had people like vote on them or something. And I don't remember any of the other ones, and I don't remember if any of them really got any traction. But Zombieland was one of them, and it was so horrendous. It was the same characters, right? It was the same characters, but they recast everyone. And that was their big mistake. Like you can make a Zombieland TV show, but don't have it be the same characters because it's these
Yeah.
specific actors that make the characters.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you had like these no-name people portraying these characters, and it just didn't work, and it was horrible. And I feel like that hurt the franchise big time. And maybe that's
Yeah.
why maybe that's why the sequel ended up not happening for 8 years. But I thought it was fun. It's not amazing or anything, but and I wouldn't say you have to see it in the theater, but maybe when it comes to VOD or Netflix, give it a look.
Yeah.
They do like a lot of the super slow-mo stuff, and there's a lot of really gory kind of fun moments. And it's just more Zombieland. It's more the same.
All right. All right. I watched two John Carpenter movies. So
I thought you saw
finally.
a movie called Two Carpenters. I'm like, I never heard of that.
Two Carpenters. Small independent picture. No, we got. I finally saw the original Halloween from 1978.
First time watch?
I guess
Ah,
because I started watching it and like the first, like the young Michael Myers, that was all familiar. I was like, oh yeah, I know, I've seen this before. And then like as it progressed, I was like, you know what? I don't remember this or this. Like I don't know if I've actually seen this movie before. So if I have, it's been fucking ages that I don't remember it at all, except for the opening. But Halloween is pretty phenomenal. Music's fantastic. The breathing, I tell you, that got a little annoying. Always hearing him fucking breathing. Like, how do you not know he's there? He's breathing so fucking loud all the time. And then, like towards the end when she finally has to, fight Michael Myers, which he's fucking terrible with a knife. He's just fucking so inept.
well, he's got that mask on, so he doesn't
I know.
really have his peripheral vision in that.
He's been doing such a great. She's sitting target. She's just sitting there. I don't know what the fuck his problem is. He was doing so well throughout the night. I mean, he started off 3 for 3. I mean, 4 for 4 if you count the dog. I mean, he's rolling. He's in a groove. And then I don't know if he got the yips or what towards the end, but she's just sitting there twice. Once she's just standing in the room. The other time she's just sitting there on the couch, and he fucking bungles it because he's just pathetic. He's so fucking awful at what he does. Because not only does he fuck it up, but he gets, like, she stops him, has the knife, and she's like, you know what? I don't like holding this knife. Got to check on these kids. Let me put the knife beside Michael Myers. Let me put it right beside him. That way I know where it is. I'll go check on the kids. So he comes back with the knife, obviously. And then she does the fucking same thing again.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Kevin, this is before the days of the slasher. You know, there's no rules here in 1978.
There's no rules, but at the same time, I think it's just put the knife somewhere else. Like he can still get it back, but you don't have to put it next to him. Like, here's your knife, buddy. Here's your knife in case you wake back up. There it is. But I did like it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it. It is funny to me that, like, watching it and kind of thinking to myself, this is the thing that became a franchise. Like, this is good as a one and done, it seems like.
Yeah, it definitely became a hit franchise.
Yeah, it's just weird. There's like that.
Well, I think
turn that into a thing.
Well, I think what happened was the popularity of Halloween caused the slasher boom, and after that, they were like, "Well, we got to make more of these."
Yeah, Brandon's got back.
Yeah,
because I do love how there's just like they don't really explain anything, which I love. It's like the doctor just shows up. He's somehow out. No one cares that he got out, which is weird. Like, even the people out there, like, oh, whatever, dude. He's out. He's gone. Big fucking deal. The doctor's fucking losing it. And for some reason, he's getting blamed. But he had nothing to do with it. And, of course, he's, like, trying to tell everyone, like, he's just pure fucking evil. He just wants to kill everybody. And you're just like, what? Why, though? So bizarre. I just love it. I just love the fact that they're just like, you know what, let's not really explain anything. It's just this dude, he's evil, and he's back. And for some reason, he just wants to kill everybody. Why not?
That's one thing I liked about the new one, because they did away with all of the lore and all the backstory and stuff that they were basically forced to develop over the many sequels that this had.
Yeah. It's just like, no one cares. No one cares that this guy got out. I mean, for some reason, everyone's, his doctor's been saying that he's pure evil. He just wants to kill. And no one cares. Just like, whatever, dude. Shut up. Like, why the fuck did you let him out? And he's like, I didn't. I wasn't even here. The hell? But the other one that I do this too much time on Halloween. The other one I saw was In the Mouth of Madness, which is a much, much better movie. 1994, John Carpenter. This movie is just fucking insane, and I love it.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the best Lovecraftian films ever made.
It's so ridiculous, and it's just incredible. Like, I don't know, I had no idea where it was going. I was baffled and befuddled, but in a good way. At every turn, it just kept getting better.
This is one of these movies that I can just rewatch over and over again. I love it.
Mm-hmm. It's wild to me that, like, this isn't the John Carpenter movie. Like, when you talk about John Carpenter movies, this really doesn't seem to come up as much. Now, obviously, the other ones are pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But, like, this movie's just as fucking good.
I love Carpenter movies. I think even John Carpenter's, like, lesser films all have just something special about them.
Yeah.
I wish he would just make more movies. I just want him to make so many more movies.
Yeah, he's making music, playing video games. That's
Yeah,
all he wants to
I
do.
was just gonna say.
Which
Yeah, I know he's busy
I
doing music and video games, but
I you know I would probably do the same thing. Like
yeah,
I made a bunch of fucking great movies. You know what? I'm just gonna spend my time playing video games. Why not?
I think he's the type of dude where if the right project comes across his desk too, that he would be willing to do it. I just think at this point he can just be picky, you know.
Yeah, he's got games to play too. He's got stuff to do. The
Oh,
games keep coming out.
the games keep coming out. I love that he's a gamer. I think it's one of the best pieces of trivia about John Carpenter. And he like tweets about video games and stuff too. He's
Yeah,
great.
like no, he's in the games. He's like legit.
I love it.
I love it.
I saw Girl on the Third Floor. This is directed by Travis Stevens, who, for longtime listeners of the show, he was on the show a while back. I think it was around South by Southwest one year. He was pushing the movie Starry Eyes, which he produced. Great movie, by the way. This is his directorial debut. He's produced a lot of really great movies, and this time he's actually directing. This is a haunted house movie, which I love haunted house movies, and it's kind of an interesting. I wouldn't say it's an interesting twist on the haunted house movie, but it's just a really a solid backbone of a haunted house movie. It stars CM Punk, the WWE wrestler. I don't know if he's still wrestling or not. I don't follow wrestling too much, but so you have CM Punk as this guy who moves into this old house in this small town, and he's going to fix up the house, and he's going to start a new life with his wife who is pregnant, and he gets there early to start work on rehabilitating this house. And it starts out as like the money pit, basically, where he's just trying to do these projects and everything is going wrong. Like he tries to fix this plumbing issue in the kitchen and like breaks open a pipe and all this like black shit sprays all over him, this like slime. And there's this like very semen like substance that it just looks like jizz that's coming out of basically every orifice of this house, like all the outlets and stuff. Anything that has a hole in the house, you see this like white gross stuff
Oh,
oozing out of.
okay.
And things start to get weird. There's this young woman who starts showing up on the property, and she seduces him, and he, like a idiot, sleeps with her. And then she keeps coming around over and over again, and it sort of escalates from there. I'm not going to give too much away, but things are not going right in this house. And I think that it was a good debut. All of the effects are practical to my knowledge. So there's lots of blood and guts and ooze and a lot of really good makeup effects being used. It's a pretty gross movie. It almost has an Evil Dead 1 or 2 vibe to it, and I appreciated that. The performances are sort of middle of the road, not great. Some of the dialogue is a little bit cringy, but it's sort of passable, I would say. Overall, it's on VOD, and I'd say it is worth a rental on VOD. That's Girl on the Third Floor. There's some creepy
All right.
stuff in this too, by the way. Oh, one other highlight that I'll mention is the camera work is really good. The cinematography is pretty excellent in this.
Okay. All
Very,
right.
very creepy.
I watched another Netflix original horror movie. That's Eli.
Now, I was interested in this. We got a bunch of emails about this, and I thought it looked okay, but I didn't jump into it yet. I still, well, maybe we'll see what you have to say here, and it'll determine if I want to
Yeah.
watch this today or not.
Yeah. Short answer, do so. Watch it. It's surprising. I gotta say, it surprised me. It's got a twist that I didn't really see coming. And once that twist happens, all hell breaks loose. And it just gets batshit insane, which is pretty much what I'm looking for, when it comes to horror movies, right? Especially ones like these where it's a very long build up. So what it concerns is this boy Eli. He has a rare autoimmune disorder, right? He's a bubble boy. He's allergic to everything on the outside.
Okay, so right there, we know that you're into it because you love Bubble Boy movies.
I look anything with kids and bubbles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because immediately your first thought is, well, what's going on there?
True.
There's curiosity right off the bat. Okay, so his parents, they're frustrated. They want to help this kid, so they go to this ridiculous facility, this medical facility, this doctor that does this aggressive, experimental, genetic mutation type therapy thing, right? And she says, I can save him. I saved everybody. Just costs you a shit ton of money. You got to come out to this. We retrofitted it. It's a clean house. So he gets there and he's going through the treatments. Of course, they tell him, treatments are they're going to wreak havoc on your body. It's going to be rough for you, but you just got to persevere. So he gets there and he starts seeing some stuff. So it's kind of this haunted house type deal. And then it just becomes something completely different and just catches you. It caught me off guard. I didn't see it coming. I thought it was maybe, with you and your Paradise Hills thing, you're going to be, 5 minutes in, you're going to be, I know what it is. These autoimmune disorder horror movies all end the same, and you're going to figure it out. But, it gets pretty ridiculous. And I like movies. I'm starting to find that I like horror movies that end badly.
Okay. I don't hate them.
And that the evil wins. And the evil just goes off to do more. And it's okay. I gotcha.
And you're saying specifically when evil wins proper, not here's a twist at the very end. Michael Myers is still alive or whatever, right?
Yes. No, when it wins, it wins outright and fairly. It just, you couldn't conquer it. It's evil. This isn't fucking movies.
I like those sometimes too. There was a Hulu Into the Dark that I watched recently that happens. And I liked that.
If you had that in the original Halloween, it would be stop giving the knife back to this motherfucker because he's going to stab you in the face. And the second time, maybe even the first time, he would have stabbed her right in the face. She would have died. Who knows what happened to the kids? And then he just left. That's the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. That's Eli. That's on Netflix. The last one I'll mention is a horror movie that is, like you said, it is a one that doesn't have a happy ending. That's called Portals. This is a anthology horror title that's in the same vein as all horror anthologies, really, but it's from the same team that brought us the VHS movies and Southbound. Bloody Disgusting has produced it. So this is you have segments directed by Greg Hale, Liam O'Donnell, Eduardo Sanchez, and Timo Jahanto. And I'm a big fan of Timo's work. Eduardo Sanchez, he did Blair Witch. So, you got some heavy hitters behind this, but man, was this a disappointment. Holy crap. This might have been one of the worst of these horror anthologies that I've seen in quite a while. It's terrible. It's really bad. It's more of a sci-fi horror story. Basically, it's about these scientists who are up in this space station and they create a man-made black hole. And when they make this man-made black hole, it causes a global blackout. All the power goes out across the entire world. And after the power comes back on, these rectangular portals start showing up. Millions of these rectangular portals show up all over the world. And the anthology part of it is you have segments about specific interactions with this portal. So, for instance, the Timo one is about these two sisters in Jakarta who are in a parking garage, and one of the portals shows up in the parking garage, and they sort of like hypnotize you and kind of beckon you to go into the portal. It's never explicitly said or explained what the portals are, what they want, who they choose to like hypnotize, because some people don't get hypnotized by them. It's the rules are never clearly defined. They just these black portals that show up. Some people go in them, some people don't. It's not very interesting. The Timo one was probably the best one, I guess, but even that one was not great. The best part about that is the fact that it was all just a single take shot. It was one continuous take. And so you know, it was fine, I guess, but overall it is pretty boring. Like, very dull. These portals are pretty lame, actually. Just black rectangles. Some people go in them, some people don't. And also the weird thing about this is the structure. So, you know, you normally with a movie, with an anthology film, you have a wraparound that occurs in the beginning and the end, and then sometimes in the middle, right? In this, you have two wraparounds. So you have one wraparound that starts, which is like this mockumentary thing that's just terrible. It's just awful. Then you have a second wraparound that occurs, and then you go into the first segment. Then you go back to wraparound 2. Then you go into the second segment. Then you finish the second wraparound. Then the credits happen. Then it does the first wraparound and finishes that. Then more credits happen. It's structured in such a weird way, and it's not good. Like, that doesn't work, because any momentum that it starts to pick up, it just breaks it once. Because there's only like 2 proper segments, they don't dive into what this is like at all. So you're just like, everything I told you is exactly what it is. Oh, it's portals that show up. Sometimes people walk into them. Sometimes they get like bounced off of them. It's ridiculous.
I don't know why, but it sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
Describing that.
I can't recommend portals.
I wish that I hope that, like, out of the 4, the one director, you know, the guy's like, you know what? For my short, they don't go into a portal. they do it a normal day of work. That's it.
I'm not even sure who directed what segment, because there's really only 2 segments. There's 4 directors, and then I would assume that you had another director that did the second wraparound. And then the first wraparound, I don't know if they got a completely separate director for that, but the first wraparound is so bad. It's just like mockumentary style interviews. Yeah, whatever. Portals, don't even waste your time, as Ryan would say.
Don't even.
All right, let's take a look at what we have in theaters this week. We got Motherless Brooklyn. That's the Ed Norton directed noir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure about this one.
No, it does not sound good.
I'm just not so sure. The whole Tourette's thing, I don't know, man.
No. See that poster? Look at that poster.
It's a rough poster.
That poster tells you everything you need to know.
Yep. We have Terminator Dark Fate.
Which I didn't know what was happening.
I mean, I'm gonna give it a look. I have no expectation. The Terminator franchise has been letting me down since part 3. So I have absolutely no expectations for this one. I think it's cool that they got Linda Hamilton to come back and reprise her role. That's cool. James Cameron's producing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Tim Miller directing. So, yeah, and you got Mackenzie Davis in there as well. I like her. So, it's got a couple things going for it, but jury's still out on that one.
Yeah, it's still Terminator.
It is. But I mean, Terminator 2 is a classic.
Yeah, but when did that happen?
Long time ago. Long time ago. All right, we also have The Irishman coming out. This is going to be in theaters, so not on Netflix just yet. It's going to be on
What?
It's going to be on Netflix November 27th, I believe.
Oh,
So it's just in theaters.
oh.
We have Harriet. This is the Harriet Tubman biopic.
Mm-hmm.
We have Adopt a Highway, starring Ethan Hawke.
Is it? Please tell me it's about him adopting a highway and cleaning up a highway, and that's it. Nothing more.
I don't think so. He was released. It says he's been released from prison after serving 21 years for a third strike conviction for possessing an ounce of marijuana.
He finds a baby left in a dumpster.
Yeah.
Wow. All right then.
And he decides.
What? Well, hold on a second.
Oh, it's directed by Logan Marshall Green. Written and directed by Logan Marshall Green.
All right, then. Interesting.
Very strange, that one.
I had no idea.
Nor did I, till just now. And that's pretty much it for theaters. VOD this week. On Tuesday, we have a horror movie called Door in the Woods. And then on Friday, we have Badland, which is a Western. We have The King on Netflix. That's the one with Timothée Chalamet. We have Paradise Hills, and that's pretty much it for VOD.
Mm-hmm.
On Blu-ray, we have An American Werewolf in London. That's the Arrow video edition, the limited edition. We should have a review for that up already by the time you're listening to this, but it's a pretty busy week for me with all these podcasts, so it's possible that it could be out later on in the week. One thing I will say about the American Werewolf in London Blu-ray is that it is absolutely jam-packed with bonus content. There's like a feature-length documentary in there, new interviews with John Landis. You got commentaries out the wazoo. I believe it's a new restoration too, so it looks gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Wow. All right.
Arrow is also putting out the Ring collection. This is a box set of Ring 0, Ring 2, and Spiral. I should also have a review for this coming out. This was a big one. This was a big undertaking because it's 4 movies and there are just gobs of special features on this. Just loaded. It's a 3-disc. It's a 3-discer.
Oh boy.
Yeah. If you're a fan of the original Ring movies, this is absolutely a must buy. We have The Blob from 1988. Purely coincidentally, I just watched this for the first time last week. I didn't even know this was coming out. Yeah, and I just watched it for the first time. It's so good. I loved it.
Really?
Yeah. It's awesome. We have Two Evil Eyes from 1990. This looks awesome too. This is a Blue Underground one. I never heard of this, but it looks pretty incredible. There's an Amityville collection coming out. Vinegar Syndrome is putting this out. And I saw some pictures of what this box set looks like, and it looks really nice. It's got 4 of the Amityville movies. Amityville: The Evil Escapes, Amityville: It's About Time, Amityville: A New Generation, and Amityville: Dollhouse. So it's the sequels starting in 1989. The Devil Rides Out from 1968. We got Mr. Nice Guy starring Jackie Chan from 1997. Berserker from 1987. Beyond the Door 3 from 1989. Man of a Thousand Faces from 1957. That is also an Arrow release. That's Arrow Academy, I believe. They're also putting out the Ring movies individual, at least the first one. They're putting it out on its own release. So if you don't want all of them, if you don't want to pay for the box set, you could just get the first Ring from 1998. Looks like there's a John Wick collection that's coming out. This is the first 3 John Wick movies. There's a new National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation Blu-ray coming out, which I feel like every year they release a new version of that.
It does seem that way.
Bloody New Year from 1987 is coming out. I think that's on Vinegar Syndrome. Jay Myself, the documentary from earlier this year. The Rise of Jordan Peterson, also a documentary. That's pretty much it. What do we got on Criterion?
We have 2. Yeah. First one, unfortunately for them, is John Sayles' Madeline from 1987. That's got Bonnie Prince Billy, Chris Cooper, David Strathairn, James Earl Jones, Mary McDonnell. You got 2 new documentaries on the making of the film, starring all those people and the director. New interview with the composer, short documentary, all sorts of stuff. But the problem for Madeline is that it's coming out at the same time as the Godzilla box set, which seems kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're Criterion, the Godzilla thing would be its own, you would dedicate just the Godzilla box set, right, for a release date.
Yep. You'd think so.
You would think. So this is the Showa era films from 1954 to 1975. If you don't know about the Godzilla box set yet, look it up, because it's pretty incredible looking.
Yeah. So
just the amount of detail that went into it. The design of this thing is just so damn impressive.
It's their 1000th release, right? Criterion's.
Yeah. Yep.
15 movies, 17 cuts, totaling 1,295 minutes.
Yeah. And then they got artists that do each title.
Mm-hmm.
You have its own little cover there done by an artist. It's ridiculous.
It's insane. I do plan on getting this.
I'm not even a big Godzilla guy, right? But just like when this was announced and I saw it, I'm just like, well, I guess I'll have to become a Godzilla guy. Like, I just feel like I have to.
This is why I'm excited for this box set, because I've seen Godzilla movies here and there over the course of my time on this earth, and like most of the old ones, the Showa era entries, I either didn't see them at all, or I don't really remember them, or maybe I caught like part of some of them on Sci-Fi or something. So I'm really looking forward to just seeing all of these for the first time. And even the ones that I did see, I feel like it's going to be like feel the same way that I'm seeing them for the first time.
Oh yeah. No, you take a month off. Sit down with this guy. Take a month off. Quit your job. Quit your job. I forgot I wanted to look. What is the price on this thing?
So it's retailing. It's retailing for $225, but Amazon has it 27% off right now, so it's $165 on Amazon.
Okay, $165 on Amazon. I'm looking here on Criterion's website. have it at $179.96.
Okay.
So if you don't want to go the Amazon route, $179.96 is not bad for what you're getting here.
It comes with this like did you see the way that, so like the box set, it's like a book. It's like a big, it's not like a normal Blu-ray case size. It's like a big coffee table book. And all the discs are like bright colors. It just looks so good. I mean, this is like a showpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pre-order this.
Are you doing it right now?
I
want to hear clacking. I want to hear keys clacking.
I'm at the page right now.
Buy now.
I'll do it after the show.
Yeah. No.
All right, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet and @FilmPulseKevin. And if you have a minute, consider reviewing us on your podcast platform of choice. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.